This week On the Road with Mickey, top 3 table service restaurants outside of the parks.
We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm MICKEYELLIS, and she's Sophie.
Well, dang, now I feel really boring, Daddy. But
Okay.
not as boring as me is Brenda.
Hey everyone, I'm just as boring as you, Sophie.
No, you're not.
And he's Grogu. He's
He's
like
best.
GROGU, GROGU, GROGU. There, I got it.
He doesn't
And
like
we
how you
are-
butchered his name.
Yeah, and we are on the road with Mickey. This is episode 256 for March 10th, 2025. And our feature topic this week is our top 3 table service restaurants located outside of the parks. So you can guess that my top 3 are Cinderella's Royal Table,
Daddy, that doesn't count.
Akershus,
Does not count.
and I'm going to go with Crystal Palace.
Daddy, that does not count.
Why not?
Because they're in the parks.
Oh,
We're trying
man.
to keep from using a day on our ticket.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
you,
is...
You mean I have to start my list over again?
It's okay, Daddy. I'm going first.
Okay, good. That gives me time. So,
Yes.
anyway, now that we've got that settled, that we know who brings the show down, it is time, before we get into our feature topic, we are going to get into our cheddar from the big cheese. And we have 2 bits of information again this week. I'm just not finding much. I don't know. So this week, we're going to have Sophie and Brenda talk about their cheddar. So go for it. You all can fight it out over who goes first.
Well, Aunt Brenda, I personally like the second option, so I will let you take the first one.
Okay, well, guess what? The
What?
Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival is on. It started on March 5th. Woohoo!
Woo!
The festival, which runs until June 2nd, the day before my birthday, is featuring some incredible topiaries from Moana this year.
Ooh, I think I saw a couple of videos about those going around on social media. They look really, really cool.
Amazing
Yeah.
looking.
I couldn't
What
find
they're able
pictures
to
to
do.
share, but yeah, they are so good. So, note to everyone listening, Brenda wants a trip to Disney for her birthday.
Coming in the day before so I can see
Coming
the
the day
flower and garden.
before, so she can see the flower and garden.
Thank you.
All right, we'll try and make that work, okay? But it's my turn. Over at the Disney Parks blog, they have just released the recipe for making beignets at home. For those of you who remember our Thanksgiving episode, they heard me talking about the new bread pudding recipe that was coming to Sebastian's over at the Caribbean Beach Resort, and I've made it twice. And it tastes absolutely spectacular. So you know, without a doubt, that I will be trying my hand at this. And we will put the link down in the show notes and in the description if you're watching us on YouTube.
Yep.
All right. This has given me all the feels from the COVID pandemic. And I had that same feeling I had back then when we were all stuck at home and all of our clients canceled their vacations and the bottom dropped out of our lives, and Disney did all these extra things to try to like get Disney involved in our lives, like, you know, releasing things to get us like remembering the feeling and, you know, coziness. And they started releasing a lot of those special recipes so people could make them at home. And I thought that was so wonderful.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was and it is. And at um the end of the post, sorry, my brain fried for a moment. At the end of the post, there was a situation or a link at the very bottom that talked about where you could go to find some more of the recipes.
Oh, nice.
So go check it out. If you go check out that link and then see the whole recipe, the last item on the step number 8, I think it is where you can go to find other great Disney recipes. So
That's great. Thank you.
so
So
anyway,
much fun.
yeah. But that's our cheddar from the big cheese this week. So it is time to focus on our feature topic. But first, just a reminder of where you can connect with us on our Facebook page and our Facebook group and in our YouTube channel. Hello, everyone. Oh,
Hello.
Hi,
they said hi
everyone.
back. I heard them.
Hey, he's hearing
And
voices again.
on our Instagram channel, email address is info@ontheroadwithmickey.com, and our website is also ontheroadwithmickey.com. So check us out and connect with us and leave us comments everywhere, like 100 each section. Okay?
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay.
And don't forget to be on the water with Mickey.com. Tell them about that one more time, Mike, in case they want to book our cruise.
It's on the
Oh,
seas
yeah.
with
On the
Mickey.
seas of Mickey.
On the water, I don't know.
It's
That just
just a
doesn't work as
bay.
well. Just
No,
doesn't.
it
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't. On the seas sounds fantastic.
So
Yes.
January 17th to 24th, 2026, Disney Cruise Line, Disney Treasure, 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise, leaving Port Canaveral, stops in Tortola, British Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Castaway Key. And I won't go into again why it's called Key and not K. And it's 3
Cayman.
nights. There's 3 nights at sea. So a lot of
So
great
much
ship
fun.
action.
Yes.
And we are looking forward to it. And we are hoping that you will book your cruise with us and join us. I think it'd be so much fun. Golly,
It
that would
would
be
be.
so neat. So take a look. Send us a quote request. On our website, you can request a quote and you can request Brenda or myself to help you plan your trip. So go out to the website and request a quote and just see if the numbers work for you. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But the sooner you book, the longer you have to pay on it, and the less expensive it is, because as it gets closer to cruise time, the price goes up.
Yep.
Mhm.
And until March 14th, you can pay 50% deposit. So
Yeah,
book it before March 14th so that you can save on that deposit. It doesn't change the cost of the cruise, but you only have to pay 50% of the normal deposit. So that's a
yes,
great deal right now.
it is.
It would
So
be so fun. We would be winning all the trivia.
we
Oh,
would.
we
We had a
would.
bunch of people at our
I
table.
mean, you'd have me. of
I
two,
know.
Like,
Which,
What else could
yeah,
you want?
exactly. So anyway, that is our cheddar from the big cheese and our connecting with us and our cruise update. And it is now time for our feature topic, our top 3 table service restaurants outside of the parks. And Sophie,
I'm starting us off, as I
you're
promised.
starting us off.
Yep, to give Daddy as much time as possible.
Yep. Maybe he didn't have to change any. We'll just see what he comes up with. If he can't speak, if he says, and that's number 3, then you know that he didn't have it right and he didn't update.
It's all right, Daddy. Get to cooking.
Okay.
Well, speaking of cooking, my first item on this list, we're talking about the table service restaurants outside the parks, remember? And this is kind of meant to be sort of a suggestion for if you're in the Florida area, Orlando area specifically, and you want something Disney, but you're not there for Disney. This is some of the things that I did when I was in Orlando, but I was not there for Disney. Big shocker, I know. This one was on one of my Disney trips, but you can still access it without having a park ticket. And this was the Turf Club Bar and Grill. It's at Saratoga Springs, which is the resort right next to Disney Springs. It's like the shopping district. You don't need a ticket to get there. You don't need a ticket to get into this resort. All you have to do is tell them you have a reservation. And a lot of locals will actually make reservations at this restaurant, and then they'll go eat, and then they'll go back to their houses outside the Disney property, and this will be like a locals restaurant as much as it's a guest restaurant. And while I was there, I had some of the things on my list, but I also am recommending you something I have not tried yet, but I know that it's good. The two things that I tried were the appetizer and the entree. They were rather expensive, but they were also very filling, so we didn't stick around for dessert. But the appetizer that I had was actually sweet and spicy Brussels sprouts. And I know that sounds absolutely disgusting. Who likes Brussels
Uh-uh.
sprouts?
My sister
Apparently,
loves them.
yeah, apparently I like them too. Because they weren't like soggy or anything like that. They were crispy because they were like air fried, and they were dipped in the seasoning that was slightly spicy but not entirely so. I'm very sensitive to spicy things, and the fact that I like them speaks volumes. They were
Yeah.
very, very good. You can get them for $13, and you will almost certainly have leftovers to take home with you. And
Or
then for
share.
my
Share with your
or
table.
share. Yeah, we ended up sharing them, a couple of us, but we still had some to take home. And
Nice.
then for my entree, um, this was actually, I sent my dad a picture of what I had eaten, and I was like, Daddy, guess what I'm eating? And he's like, scallops? And I said, yes, because that was the first time I'd ever had scallops before. This is the pappardelle scallop pasta. I think I butchered the pronunciation, but it was very good. If you like scallops, definitely get this. It's got like a creamy sauce to it, and you can, let's say you have allergies to shellfish and whatnot, you can't eat scallops. They can make exceptions for that too. You can substitute chicken, or my Aunt Sheila, she's allergic to shellfish. She substituted it for lamb, and she said that it was good. So they can make alterations to this. At the base price, it costs $35, so a little bit pricey, but that's to be expected. And it was very good, and I also had leftovers for that. And obviously, being filled up on other things, we didn't stick around for dessert, but if we did, I would have gotten the signature chocolate cake. It comes with a raspberry jam sort of thing that you would put on top of it, and it looks really, really good from the pictures.
Hmm.
Sounds really good.
I'm just imagining it.
And the
Yeah.
signature chocolate cake is $11 as well.
You know
I
what's
bet
funny?
Billy would love it.
I
What?
bet Billy would love it, but you know what's funny? As
What?
soon as she said signature chocolate cake, my mouth just started watering.
Oh,
I
sorry, Daddy.
get that.
But yeah, all in all, you're looking at $60 meal right there, so it's definitely expensive.
But you know what? That's the kind of thing in my mind where it's like those are special occasion meals.
They are. They absolutely are. If you're not going to the parks, and even if you are going to the parks, it's a special occasion.
You know, the one thing I didn't look up,
Hmm?
and maybe we should have, but I wonder if dining plan could be used at the turf club,
I will look that up and let you know when we're done.
because that would be a good use of dining credits, you know?
It would
Yeah.
be.
Okay. Well, it is now. That's a great first one. So that's number
Yay.
3 on your list.
I didn't really rank them.
Oh, okay. Well, I ranked it for you. It's number 3.
Nice.
All right. Well, it is now Brenda's turn.
All right. Well, I did rank them. And I have 3, but these are all, I guess, ones that we've gone to for years that have always been favorites. And for a couple of them we enjoy breakfast also, but I did dinners on this list because dinners is, so what we're having right now coincides most with dinners. What we're,
Okay.
the way we're eating. So this one is Whispering Canyon Cafe, which is inside Disney's gorgeous Wilderness Lodge that's right there at Seven Seas Lagoon. And what we are getting is the all you care to eat signature skillet, the traditional, because we're carnivore. And it has oak smoked beef brisket, pork ribs, slow smoked pulled pork, citrus herb chicken, Western style sausage, smashed potatoes that we wouldn't eat, baked beans, buttered corn on the cob. We also wouldn't eat. We'd substitute green beans with sauteed green beans for that. And that is $43 per person. And what you do is they bring you all of those things except what you won't eat. So you just tell them not to waste it. And then whatever you want more of, they just keep bringing you more of until you're done.
Till
And
they
that's
roll
what
you
we
out
have.
of the restaurant.
That's right. They roll you on out. Just walk out there and watch the electrical water pageant and then kill some time before you try to mosey on out of there.
So, question. Is there a reason why you don't want the smashed potatoes in the corn on the cob?
Not eating carbs.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
We
But
are
baked
carnivore.
beans are
Mostly we're animal protein, whole food kind of carnivore diet. So we do not eat pastas. We don't eat potatoes. We don't eat bread. We don't eat rice.
Got it.
So that's
but
why.
baked beans has carbs, right?
Well, I mean, we keep our carbs as low as possible.
Okay.
And we would not eat many of the beans, no. But it would at least give us something if we wanted something. That would be what we'd get. That'd be what
Yeah.
we'd eat, or the green beans. Sometimes, I
Okay.
mean, really 95% of the time we just eat meat.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's a
but
good
it's
answer.
really good, and the way they prepare it is really good, and it's a great meal for people like us.
Yeah. Are you able to that you have to each pay for that? It's not you can't share
You
that.
each have to pay for it. That's right. You
Okay.
can't share it.
Okay. Well, that sounds yummy.
Yummy.
I'm trying to remember what I've had there. I don't remember what I've had at Whispering Canyon. So I'm glad it's not on my list.
That's
Yeah.
good. We used to have
know?
breakfast there too a lot, before we were doing this, but they, breakfast menus, especially like the all you care to eat and everything. I mean, it'd be great if it was just like bacon and eggs or steak and eggs or bacon, steak and eggs and ham but it's like biscuits and it's there's just so many carb type things that seem to focus around breakfast.
Yeah.
So that's why I listed the dinner.
Breakfast isn't complete without a waffle.
Well,
I like waffles.
Well,
yeah.
I
could have one if I wanted to, but not.
You
Oh,
know.
you know what's funny? On my
Mhm.
list, I must have forgotten, but all 3 of mine are outside of the parks. Who
Oh
would
my
have
God!
thought?
Good.
What a coinkadink!
What a
Good for
coinkadink.
you.
Ours are too.
Well, number 3 on my list, and I put both my breakfast and my dinner choices because I've had both.
Awesome.
And number 3 for me is the Kona Cafe.
Yeah.
Um, and for breakfast, I am not a Tonga toast person.
Ooh, hiss.
So,
I'm team Tonga toast, except I can't eat it anymore.
yeah,
Oh.
it's not to me. It just doesn't do anything for me. So what I get at breakfast at Kona Cafe is the French toast with caramel banana sauce and your choice of ham, spiced ham, bacon, or sausage. And I'm typically going to do the bacon or the sausage. And you know what? For breakfast, I'll get a drink. I'll get like orange juice to go with it, So I didn't put that down, but for breakfast, that is actually a very economical breakfast because it's $15.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
And
very
the amount
economical at Disney.
for the amount and the amount
very.
of food you get is like, holy cow.
You can't get
So
that here. You can't get that here for breakfast. And you're
uh-uh.
at Disney.
Yeah.
Food's excellent.
So so be on the lookout, keep that in mind. It's a lot of food and it was good. Oh, it was good. So
Nice atmosphere too, Mike.
yeah, very relaxing, very good, just fun place to eat. Um, for dinner, it said something different. I used to get the airplane chicken, and now
Ooh.
and I think this is the same thing, just with a different name. Maybe Brenda, who is an expert on everything, can clarify that for me. It says Asian marinated chicken featuring sticky rice, bok choy, and Asian mirin soy glaze. And I feel like that's close to my airplane chicken, but maybe not. But I have had this and it was good. But I just remember it used to say airplane chicken, unless I'm just whacked and I don't remember. But anyway, that is what I would get for dinner. And that meal for dinner is $27.
Sounds
So,
really good.
and I think it does sound really good because, I like my rice and I like my chicken and I like my Chinese sort of Asian flavors, stickiness
Yeah.
and those sorts of glazes and stuff like that. That it's
They
yeah,
give you a wet towel to have at the end,
I think so. I
the
don't remember.
little wrapped up wet towel
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. But anyway, so that's my choice for Kona Cafe. That's number 3 on my list.
Nice.
So, Sophie,
All right. My
all right,
turn again.
your turn
Um,
again.
the next option on my list is the Grand Floridian Cafe. It's right next door to the Kona Cafe. Um, and
No, no,
unlike
no.
the
Kona Cafe is
no,
Polynesian, baby.
sweet Daddy, sweetest joy of my life. I meant the
Sorry.
resorts are close to each other.
Oh, okay. I'm
Okay?
sorry, honey. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I love you.
You too.
Y'all are so funny. Oh, y'all are funny. Y'all like a comedy show.
As I was saying, unlike the Turf Club, which is only open for dinner, by the way, the Grand Floridian Cafe is open for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and dinner. So I am going to be choosing something from the breakfast side. But the thing is, I've never eaten here for breakfast. So instead, we're going to focus on lunch and dinner first because I know exactly what you should get and I know exactly what to recommend.
Yay.
So starting with dinner, I have a system, if you will. Like with the Turf Club, I'm going appetizer, entree, dessert. So for lunch and dinner, the menu is the same. The appetizer that I would recommend is the caramelized onion soup gratin. It's basically French onion soup. It costs $13.
Sounds
It's
good.
it is good. I like French onion soup. The entree that I would suggest is the steak and garlic parmesan fingerlings. My mom would disagree very heavily. She doesn't like garlic. I love garlic, but this is what I would choose if I'm not in the mood for something simple like their buttermilk fried chicken. Say I'm in the mood for something decadent, that's what I would go with. It costs $39. And then that expensiveness of the entree is kind of cut off a little bit by the cost of the dessert. I would choose the seasonal fruit cobbler, which obviously the fruit flavor changes depending on what time of year you get it or what the cooks have in the back, but it only costs $9. So all in all, you're looking at, I didn't actually stop to think about how much this costs. Let's see, 13.39. That's
$61.
yeah, pretty much. Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome, honey.
Yay.
And then as for breakfast, we have a couple of things. Aunt Brenda, for you, I'm thinking about, even though you said you can't have carbs, um, To start off, they have the Bananas Foster style steel cut oatmeal, which I really like oatmeal, and Aunt Brenda really likes Bananas Foster sauce. So I think that would be very, very delicious. It costs $11. For breakfast, I was torn between their buttermilk fried chicken and waffles because I love chicken and waffles. But I think for breakfast, if you're going there, you want something a little bit on the lighter side, especially since you just had that oatmeal. So I would go with the steak and eggs or the eggs Benedict. And the steak and eggs cost 27, the eggs Benedict cost 17. So maybe the Benedict would be a more cost-effective choice for you. And then I, of course, would choose a drink because this is breakfast. You don't need to choose, you know, drinks. I mean, desserts. But for me, if they had it, but they don't have tea. So if you're a coffee lover, instead, they've got a whole wide range of coffee for you to choose from: espressos, cappuccinos, lattes. But I don't like coffee, so I would go with a mega berry smoothie.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Berries are so good for you, all those antioxidants. I don't know
Yep.
what else they put in it, but the berries are great for you.
They put raspberry puree and non-fat yogurt blended with the Simply Smooth, the orchard berry. So that's what's in it. And that costs $6.29.
Not bad.
Not bad
Mm-mm.
at all, I don't
Like a
think.
Starbucks drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I'm of the opinion that breakfast should not cost that much.
I agree with you.
So I did well with my $15.
You did great. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. All right, Aunt Brenda,
My turn. Okay,
your
where am I
turn.
going next on my little tour? Okay, we're going to go to the restaurant that's been my family's favorite restaurant since, I don't know, the beginning of time. And that is Ohana at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Ohana, we have always liked, even when we were not carnivores, because it's protein heavy and we like protein. So that's why we go there. And we like, just we go at a time where we can watch the fireworks from the window, etc. It's just a great time. So what they have is it's an all you care to enjoy dinner, just like what I previously described, where they bring certain things and then they bring more of whatever it is you'd like. So they have mixed green salad with citrus vinaigrette. And then they have the Ohana bread with honey butter. And the Ohana bread is like what do you think it is? Like a pineapple-ish hint on their bread with honey butter. And then they have honey coriander chicken wings, which are delicious. Pork dumplings, and I will eat pork dumplings because I don't eat those at home. And when I'm at Disney, I eat things I don't eat at home. And those pork dumplings are so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
The Ohana dinner skillet comes with wood fire grilled black pepper mirin teriyaki beef, peel and eat shrimp coated with Ohana seasoning, grilled chicken with guava pineapple glaze, Ohana noodles with mirin teriyaki, which are delicious, and I'll eat just a couple of forks of those and then I'm good. And stir-fried vegetables. And then after you've had all of that and they've brought you more of whatever it is you want, then they're going to bring you the Ohana bread pudding a la mode with homemade caramel sauce, which is also delicious.
Yeah.
Aren't you full?
You know
Oh my
what?
gosh.
We've only eaten at Ohana twice. Once for breakfast with Cindy, and then dinner once with Brenda and Butch and the
That
girls.
was that
Oh my
was a
gosh.
couple days after my 21st birthday.
It was a great
Uh-huh.
time.
And it was such a great meal. And I'm like, oh my gosh, those dumplings are phenomenal. Those chicken wings were phenomenal. Those noodles, I was sucking down all the noodles
Those
Brenda
noodles are
wouldn't
so
eat.
good.
Um, that is such a great dinner. And I remember the breakfast was Lilo and Stitch breakfast, and how Stitch scared Sophie, which was
Oh,
hysterical.
poor
It
thing.
wasn't scared, it was like excitement. She was
Oh,
so
good.
excited,
That's
and he
good.
just came up behind her. But what I remember about that was I ate eggs there and enjoyed them. And I don't normally order eggs, people. And I also had some of that sweet Hawaiian sausage, and it was so good. It was so the big links of sausage.
Yeah.
Um,
It
but
was
what I was going to say is the Ohana bread to me reminds me of King Hawaiian a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
people
anyway,
used to, long before I was ever a pixie, when we go to Disney all the time, people would ask me like, "What, like, where should I go to eat?" I'm like, "You have teenage boys?" Because my boys, I had teenage boys in sports, and they ate me out of house and home. And I'd say, "You have teenage boys? Go to buffets. Make sure you reserve the buffets, because I'm telling you,
yep,
they're just gonna keep eating." So, and
yeah,
if you're not going to buffet, if you go to these all you care to eat places like Ohana, they are going to get full.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Now the cost is $62 or 60, it says $65 per adult. The last time we were there in December, we paid $62, but it's $42 per child. But you know what happened? And I thought this was really, I was surprised. But we have been going to Ohana all these years, and like, how you go to a buffet and they won't let you take to go food home because it's like people would go and fix buffets and take them home. Well,
Yeah.
when we had like a lot of the stuff left on the table, food, and they came up and said, "Do you want some to-go boxes to take the rest of this food?" And that is the first time they've ever offered that.
Oh
And
wow.
I thought that is fabulous that they're doing that.
yeah. Because otherwise, they're just tossing it anyway.
Yes, I'm
They're
Yep.
not
so
putting it back
glad.
in the serving line, you know.
Exactly. And I can understand not wanting people to like take the to-go things and go up to the buffet, but it's already on your table. And I'm just really glad they're doing that. So I
Yeah,
don't know if that's new or if it just happened to be the first time in 25 years they've done it with us, but I was really happy about it.
yeah, yeah. Well, great selection, Brenda.
Yummy food.
And you know what? Enjoying Ohana with Brenda and Butch and the girls. That just made it
The
even,
girls make it all special in Sophie's birthday.
and
Oh.
that and it was just was that much better because of that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, my last two items, my last two restaurants, I've only been for one meal, so I'm only going to list the meal I ate at. And so, number two on my list is Cape May Cafe, which I've eaten there twice, and both times it was breakfast.
I went
And
there with you one day breakfast.
I know you
Yeah.
did.
And
And
with Sheila and Randy and Jagan
uh huh.
and you and Cindy and Sophie and me and
Yep.
Butch
Yep.
and the
Yep.
girls.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it was
Giant
so
table.
good. That was Sophie's 21st birthday, also.
That
That's fun.
was.
And And so on that trip, on that regard, it's a breakfast buffet. It's $49 for adults and $33 for children ages 3 to 9. So keep that in mind.
It's a
And
character meal though. I mean,
it's a
that's not
character
much for
meal.
I mean,
Yeah,
when I say not much, I mean relatively speaking on a regular meal versus a character meal.
yeah. Um, and the items on the buffet vary, of course, but at time of creation, they were the salted caramel beach buns served with a vanilla cream, oatmeals and grits, cheddar biscuits and gravy, omelets and carving stations for meats, selections of fruits, waffles, French toast, scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage. I remember the first time we ate there, they also had various pastries that I think were there the last time we ate there, um, which I enjoy because I like carbs.
Oh yeah. I do too. It's a problem.
so so anyway, it's all you can eat. You go there, you get what you want to eat, you come back to your table and you eat it, and then you go back and you get more of what you want to eat, and you come back and you eat it, and
Yeah.
rinse and repeat. And
Yes.
like Brenda said, it's character meal, so the characters come to you. Um, Minnie, we've seen Minnie there before. We've seen Goofy. We've seen Donald years ago. We've seen Daisy. Um, So it kind of varies sometimes, but it's just a lot of fun, and it's always great to get pictures with characters.
It
Yeah.
is.
So number 2 on my list is the breakfast buffet at Cape May Cafe.
Awesome.
All right, it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So the last place on my list, I have eaten here only once, but it was such a phenomenal experience when I ate there that I just have to include it. Besides the fact that I also rarely eat outside the park, but this was a place I went to with my Aunt Robin. It was during our most recent Christmas trip to Disney, and she and I decided it was the day before the party. So
Mhm.
technically, it does not count towards the not wasting your park ticket. But point is, the party obviously we couldn't get in until 4 p.m. That's when the Christmas party was allowing Christmas party guests in. So my Aunt Robin and I decided we have almost an entire day on our hands. So we decided to hop on a bus and go to Disney Springs. We actually went from the Contemporary where we were staying to the Polynesian to the Grand Floridian, hopped on a bus to Disney Springs from the Grand Floridian. And while we were there, we got hungry because we were doing some shopping. And we were like, we need a place to eat, and we tried all of the quick service destinations on our way back to the bus stops, and we could not find any that had available seating because there were lines out the door.
Ugh.
But as we were almost to the bus stops, we just stopped, and I happened to look, and I saw this sign, and it said Wolfgang Puck. And I'm like, that is almost certainly a reservation restaurant. But we were so hungry at that point that we figured, you know what? It would not hurt to ask. So we went up to the lady who was manning the front desk and we were like, hey, do you guys accept walk ins or do we need a reservation? And she looked at her tablet and was like, if you want to wait 10 minutes, we can clear a table for you. And
Nice.
so that's
Bingo.
yeah, so that's how we got in. And in the meantime, we looked at the menu, and the menu offered both brunch and lunch because this was around 11:30 in the morning, so they were about to transition over. So naturally, we got lunch because we'd already had breakfast that morning. But I did happen to see a couple of things on the brunch menu that struck my eye. And the one that struck my eye the most was obviously the entree. I already mentioned this for Grand Floridian Cafe, but I am a huge fan of chicken and waffles. And the one at Wolfgang Puck comes with a blueberry compote and maple honey butter. And that just sounds so good. Most chicken and waffles have this honey sriracha sauce, which is spicy. So naturally, I'm averted to it, but this one sounds ridiculously good to me. I did not try it. It costs $32, and to me, it seems like it would be a huge thing, so I wouldn't even get an appetizer or anything with it, but I would just get a nice drink, maybe some water or something to go with it, or possibly the cherry limeade or something that they offer, but that would be what I would have for brunch at Wolfgang Puck. It's not what I had because I had lunch instead. And for lunch, I didn't choose an appetizer either, but if I had to recommend something, I would probably recommend the bruschetta or the Caesar salad as lunch. Both of them cost $16. And then for lunch, they have wood-fired pizzas, and my Aunt Robin got the margarita pizza that has the tomato, the basil, the pesto, all that stuff on it. She loved it. Me, I was feeling more in the mood for pasta, so I got the penne Alfredo. Um, the margarita pizza costs $19. The penne Alfredo costs $24. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then assuming you were there for dinner, you might also be in the mood for a dessert. And what they have for dessert, they have a whole bunch of things that you could get. Like they've got a whole bunch of cheesecakes. Daddy, they have carrot cake for you. Me, I would go with either the gelato or the sorbet tasting because it gives you 3 choices to choose from
Mhm.
a whole range of flavors, and they only cost $9. So that's what
Wow.
I would do.
Okay.
Yum.
Wow.
Really, really yum.
What a great happenstance, right? To be able
Yeah.
to
An
walk up.
an excellent happenstance because Aunt Robin and I were starving. And
Yeah.
if we got turned away, I have no idea what we would do. We were going to Animal Kingdom, so we would probably eat there, but we would be suffering.
Yeah, because it's a long ride.
It
Yeah.
is
You're like
a
ready to eat your
very
arm
long.
off before you got there.
Exactly.
Well, great choices.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
All
getting
right.
hungry.
Brenda.
Okay, well, I'm down to my number one, which if anyone has been listening to this show for, I don't know, 2 seconds or so, they probably know already that this is my number one. Of course, it's Raglan Road at Disney Springs because Raglan Road Irish Pub is just our
The
favorite.
bomb.
And I'm
It's the
sorry to
bomb.
say it's because of the dessert. And yes, I will eat dessert on vacation because I'm on vacation. But first, I'll have to be a good girl. Now, sometimes I have to say I don't, but I try to eat food before I eat the dessert. But I have gone there and just gotten dessert.
I
You
don't
know what we
blame
do
you.
if we do that is if we have a whole day at Disney Springs and we're not going to eat like the whole meal at Raglan Road, we'll get like something from Earl of Sandwich or something like that. And then we'll get just the dessert. But mostly we go to Raglan Road and we get the fish and chips, which is their famous premium North Atlantic cod fillet, beer battered and served with chips, which is fries, and fresh tartar sauce. And then we get Gurr's bread and butter pudding, which is ridiculous because if you have never had Gurr's bread and butter pudding and you've never listened to this show before, it is not just bread pudding, but it also has golden raisins in it. Finding bread pudding with raisins is really hard nowadays, and that's the kind I was raised on. But it doesn't just have that. No, it has two
But
little
wait, there's
pitchers.
more.
That's right. One little pitcher of butterscotch sauce and one little pitcher of cream anglaise, and you pour it over this hot bread pudding, and oh my God. There you go.
Mic drop.
That is all anyone needs. The fish and chip meal is $28.50, and Gurr's bread and butter pudding is only $13, but really I would pay $13,000 for this bread pudding.
Wow.
Oh, Aunt Brenda.
It's
I
so good.
hate to be a blasphemer, but I really do think my bread pudding is better.
I can't imagine it.
She's never had it though, Sophie.
I can't imagine it.
I'll make you the one without the pineapple on it.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
But I really
either
do
way.
think mine's better. But that's that.
That's that. Okay. Well, just for the record, at Raglan Road, I had the shepherd's pie, and it was good. But next time I want to try the fish and chips. And I love that bread and butter pudding, Gurr's bread and butter pudding. And keep in mind, we did a taste off, and we
We
did
did.
episode on which was better, the bread pudding at Ohana or the bread pudding at Raglan Road. So I will put a little link in the video so you can click it and see what our results were.
That was our tastiest episode.
It was.
It was.
Oh, so
The
good.
girls were thrilled to participate.
Yeah. And we were so excited to have them, Well, it is time for my number one selection. And it's
Dun, dun, dun.
that this is number one because I've only eaten here once. And it was at dinner.
Okay.
And I have heard that this restaurant has a really kickin' breakfast, meal breakfast.
It is a great character meal breakfast, and it's really cute to see Mickey and Minnie in their Parisian outfit, but it is a very expensive breakfast. It's like
Okay.
40,
Mm.
$45 a person or something for
Okay.
breakfast. I'm just saying.
Anyway, and that is Topolino's Terrace flavor. Topolino's Terrace flavors of the Riviera. And I have got some show and tell. I have got to show this because some things just need to be shown. And what I love about it is before I get into show and tell, I'll tell you what I had. I had the bouillabaisse, which is a provincial fish stew, red snapper, striped bass, clams, shrimp, squid, mussels, pasties, and saffron roux. I don't know how I pronounce that.
Brew,
And
Row.
brew.
wow, roux. Okay.
Mm.
Well, Sophie was talking about her expenses on her dinners. Girl, I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't got nothing because this bouillabaisse is a nice, even $51.
Daddy,
Yeah.
I spent $61 at the Grand Floridian Cafe for dinner. I got
Yeah.
you beat.
I spent $51 for one item.
Okay, you win.
It has a lot of seafood in it, though, and you
Yeah.
know that's expensive around here.
So the first thing I'm going to share is a picture of the breadsticks, which are absolutely phenomenal. Holy cow, they are so good.
They do look very good. And I
And
work in a bakery.
and they're pointy, and they had hot melt soft butter for them. They were hot. They were like a sourdough, I think, and I think they're pointy because kind of like maybe like claw or something. I don't know. And then the second thing is the picture of my bouillabaisse, and I enjoyed it. I was not expecting it to be green like that, but it was really good. It was so full of flavor that it was just really good. So I would get that again. And Brenda's like, I can't eat any of that because it was just I would be throwing up.
The
But anyway,
tentacles are a little bit off-putting.
but they were good.
Uh,
It didn't taste off-putting. Um anyway,
I have a shellfish allergy, so kind of.
yeah, so right there is a good reason for Brenda not to eat it. If anyone has
Yeah.
shellfish allergies, don't get this meal, okay?
I bet they have a good steak. I'd
I-
get the steak and slap it on my plate.
so anyway, now you know what we've eaten outside of the parks.
Yep. And
And
true to my word, I did go back and look up some of the dining planned reservations and whatnot and what's accepted where. So I have them for my three. I don't know about you guys, but I know for my stuff. The Turf Club and the Grand Floridian Cafe do accept dining plans for all of their meals. Wolfgang Puck does not accept any.
okay.
Mine
But I would
are all
imagine,
covered.
yeah.
Yes, Brenda's are all covered.
And I would
And
imagine yours are too because they take place in resorts.
yes. So yes, they are covered. Um the question I don't know is in the case of Topolino's, does that get qualified as signature dining or is it just regular dining? If it's signature dining, then it's 2 credits. And it might be signature dining because of the cost. So keep that in mind. Um, but they are all covered. Um,
Yay.
so
Yep.
there you go. That's good information to have, because that way you don't have such a hefty meal cost um, for the Grand Floridian Cafe or the Turf Club. The Turf Club was the one I wasn't sure about, only because I hadn't been there before.
Yeah,
but I'm not
that one
surprised that it
that
is
one is
accepted.
accepted and it counts as 1 dining credit.
There you go. All right.
Are
Well,
you
good to
talking
know.
about Turf Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Topolino's says that for breakfast it's 1 table service credit and for dinner it's 2.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So there you go.
So it's signature for dinner.
Yeah.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that is our feature topic. Great follow-up, Sophie. Way to pull that back up.
Thank you.
And that was a very tasty feature topic.
Oh, it was. Goodness
Man.
gracious. Out of all the things you mentioned, which one would you go back for first?
For each of us on, you know what? Right now, the Ohana dinner is calling my name.
I
Those
don't know.
chicken wings, dumplings.
I really, really liked what I had at Wolfgang Puck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just going for Gers at this point.
Okay.
She's like, food? No. Food? No, I'm on dessert mode. I'm in dessert time.
That's right. I'm not at home. I'm eating something I can't get at home.
You know what? That's fair. That is
All right.
completely
And you know what's
100%
funny
fair.
is I love dessert, but I think I love savory foods better than desserts.
I think
At
my
least at this
personal
season. So
I think my personal preferences lean more towards the really rich foods. I think that's me.
hmm
My
So,
sisters are both salties and I'm the sweet.
That's fair.
You just never
okay.
know.
You
Everybody's got
don't.
a preference. I
Yeah.
wonder, the people listening, I wonder if they're sweets or if they're salties. I would love to pose that question. I'm just curious to know.
Post the question in the group, Brenda.
I
Let's
am.
see.
I'm curious to know.
Yeah,
You know, it's food, so we're always curious about food around here.
Mhm.
exactly. All right. Well, that is still a great feature topic. But it is now time for this day in Disney history. So Sophie, take us away.
All right then. Well, I have a very triumphant event happening on this day, March 10th, and the year is 1938. As someone who's been looking through the Disney History Archives for about 5 years now, I've been able to pick up patterns at what happens in certain years of history, especially when it comes to Disney. And so this is no surprise to me. 1938. Disney is twice awarded at the 1937 Academy Awards, presented at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. The Disney/RKO cartoon short The Old Mill, short subjects cartoon, wins an Academy Award, and Walt Disney takes home an Oscar, scientific or technical class 2, for the design and use of its unique multiplane camera. The multiplane uses stacked panels of glass, each painted with different elements of the animation. It allows the animators to reuse the same background, foreground, or any elements not in motion, thus saving hours of labor. Although Walt Disney Studio Music Departments is nominated for Best Music Score for Snow White, Universal Studio Music Department takes home the Oscar for 100 Men and a Girl. Oh well.
There you
Oh
go.
well.
Still, a nomination is nothing to sneeze at.
That's for sure.
No, not at
And
all.
I'm
Achoo!
glad that I specifically chose that one because of the multiplane camera. I really, really like that piece of technology. I've seen it before. It is
Yeah.
a huge thing, an absolutely ginormous thing, but when you look at it from the top down, which is how they filmed these things, it is so cool what it does.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
neat.
Like, it's at least 7 or 8 feet tall. I think it's closer to 10.
Goodness.
I know.
And you can see it in action at the One Man's Dream exhibit
Yep. Or
at
if
Hollywood
you
Studios.
or if you live in California, they have the actual piece at the Walt Disney Museum in San Francisco.
Wow.
I want to go there one day.
Yeah.
The museum is a very good place to go. It's very safe there because it's on a naval base.
Great.
Okay.
Thank
So
you,
that's that.
Sophie.
Right. Well, that was cool history. And it is
Thank
now
you.
time to stump the soap.
Ba, ba, ba.
Should I give them some hope or
No.
no? All right.
This character thinks that cities are horrible, dirty places.
Cities.
Hmm.
Okay.
This character has strong opinions and attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea yet?
A couple.
Okay. This character sticks to strict beliefs about what food should look like or which clothes are uncool.
Clothes? At first, I was thinking like Princess Ada from A Bug's Life.
No.
But now it sounds like someone from Ratatouille.
That's what I thought.
No.
But
Not
the
from
clothes
Ratatouille?
part, the clothes part is what's throwing me off.
Read
This
that last one again, Mike.
okay. And then I have one quote.
Mm-hmm.
This character sticks to strict beliefs about what food should look like or which clothes are uncool.
It's weird.
Foods and clothes.
You're gonna really kick yourself. And
What else were you going to say? Weren't you going to give her another hint?
there's a
Quote.
Oh, a
a
quote?
quote, and this is the last thing. The quote is, "I'm gonna be sick."
It's gotta be from Ratatouille.
No, it's not.
Can we guess movies? Is it
All
from
right,
Inside
Maddie.
Out?
No, it's not from Inside Out because that all takes place inside our head.
Does it?
Wait.
Sounds like disgust.
Wait a minute.
It is disgust. Oh boy.
Do not look at me.
I'm not. I'm looking at Brenda and laughing with her because she snorted on air.
Oh, no.
It's okay, Sophie. Here,
I
I'll
know
read
it's
you the
okay.
page. Disgust believes the world is riddled with foul odors, toxic tastes, and poisonous people. With so much dirt, disease, and bad fashion in the world, disgust keeps Riley safe by warning her of every possible poison. Quote, "I'm gonna be sick." Difficult attitude. With her strong opinions and attitude, disgust can come across as abrupt and aloof. Thankfully, the other emotions are used to sarcastic tone. Did you know Disgust thinks that cities are horrible, dirty places they should always be avoided?
That
Always right. Disgust sticks to strict beliefs about what food should look like or which clothes are uncool.
the clothes part I see.
That's because she views her own great taste as a gift, one that has saved Riley from being grossed out on many occasions. Oh gosh. And the reason it's funny to me about the clothes is because of the picture with her dress.
Her dress is fabulous, though.
I know, but the scarf, the purple scarf, you know, and it's
She kind
like,
of looks like she's from the 1950s.
Yeah.
but she has specific opinions on what is not going to look good. Thank you very much.
And she's right.
Well, anyway, we stumped the soap for the first time in 8 years.
I wouldn't say that because she would
No.
she would have gotten it. She just I ran over.
No.
I don't think she would have. I'm calling this one a Brenda got.
I think she would have come up with it.
No.
You don't
You
think
don't
so?
have to. You don't have to stick up for me, Aunt Brenda.
I would have thought it just sounded like if you say what food should look like and it
No.
doesn't, you'd be like, that's disgusting.
And the quote, "I'm gonna be sick." You can hear her saying it in the movie.
That's the thing. I wasn't hearing it from her. I was not hearing it in her voice. I was thinking something like Remy because of the food part, because he's meant to be a gourmet or something like that. So he has a distinct opinion on what food should taste like.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. My mind automatically went to Ratatouille also.
Yeah,
that's okay. It's a fun game.
it is.
Thanks for throwing me a bone, Sophie.
Aunt Brenda, I think it's time for a little bit of Walt
Okay.
to distract from my crushing defeat.
Close us out, Brenda.
Well, I think that I have partially quoted a couple of different lines out of this longer quote before, but this is the entire thing of it. So this is today's quote from Walt. Somehow, I can't believe there are any heights that can't be scaled by a man who knows the secret of making dreams come true. The special secret, it seems to me, can be summarized in 4 C's. They are curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy. And the greatest of these is confidence. When you believe a thing, believe it all the way, implicitly and unquestionably. We allow no geniuses around our studio. Walt Disney.
Great quote. And yeah, we have used bits of it before.
Yeah.
Still, the whole thing is really rounds it out.
Confidence
Yeah.
is so important. And that's the
Yeah.
hardest thing. That's the hardest. Curiosity is easy.
Yep.
Well, courage is hard too. But confidence is important. Thank God he had the confidence to fight for what he saw, because where would we be if he didn't?
And you know what? Courage. You're right. That is a hard thing. And if Walt had been at Hogwarts, he would have been a Gryffindor because of the courage.
Yeah. He's a very well-rounded individual. I think it would have
Yeah.
been a hat stall, though.
A what? What?
Hat stall. Basically, when you sit down at the sorting hat, there will be some individuals, like very exceptional individuals, where the hat will actually have to take time to think about where they would go best.
Yeah.
Professor McGonagall was a hat stall. The hat, I believe, took like 15 minutes to decide.
Wow. Well, I'm glad she ended up in Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
I
I think he's kind of Hufflepuff too, though.
And he's extremely smart, so he's a Ravenclaw as well, and ambitious too. He is a very
not in-
well-rounded individual.
Not to
but
the
not
point
in
of
the
Slytherin.
not in manipulation terms though.
Right. Not where you'll do anything to get your.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That sounds like a show. We did that already, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where we named our house.
Yep.
Yep.
There is this one channel on YouTube. They're called the Carlin Brothers. They ended up sorting some of the Disney and Pixar characters into their houses.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite videos from them. They cover all sorts of things. They covered the Pixar theory. They covered, obviously, the houses. There are so many different things that they talk about on their channel, but they're all Disney. So, shameless
fun.
plug here for the Super Carlin Brothers. I am not sponsored by them in any way, but if you're looking for another channel to go listen to in the background, I would definitely check them out.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that, my friends, wraps us up for this week. Coming up next week is just a few days before spring. I know Sophie is excited.
Oh, I'm very excited. I love spring.
The beauty for Sophie is every day we record is one day closer to her trip in June.
Late June, so summer, but
yeah,
spring comes and spring goes, and it brings me one day closer.
Yep.
Right.
So
also,
next
my
week,
birthday's in spring, so.
Yep. So next week, our feature topic is tips for getting the most out of your spring trip to Disney. So listen for our tips and go check out some posts I'm going to put out in the On the Road with Mickey group, because we are going to be doing a late March Madness countdown of attractions. So look for that. Come check it out. Ask questions, vote in our polls, and see which attraction reigns supreme.
And we know for a fact that there are going to be some people who disagree with some of our takes. So please sound off in the comments as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's
Do so
coming down the road.
respectfully.
Yeah. So that's coming down the road. But that's next week. So until next week, we hope you all have a great week. We hope that it's a wonderful week for you, work-wise, play-wise, whatever you're having to do school-wise. And I hope that you have a smile on your face. And if you don't, I hope someone gives you a smile and makes your day better. So just remember to share a smile with someone you meet. But until next week, I'm Mike, or MICKEY.
ELLIS.
And she's
Sophie.
And that's
Brenda.
And he's Grogu. GROGU.
His real theme song is Baby Yoda, Baby Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, Baby Baby Yoda. That's his real theme song. Get it right, Daddy.
Okay.
Cute.
And we will
See you on the road.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Grogu.